Pumpkin slammed Mama June for abandoning her daughters for Gino and drug addiction when they needed their mother most. Welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Mama June's family seems to be finally closer than before. Recently, Pumpkin had a heart-to-heart talk with Gino Doak in Friday's episode. The 21-year-old explained how her mother left them and gave No's #* about it. Pumpkin and Honey Boo Boo were hurt. However, now it seems that Pumpkin is trying to give another chance to Mama June and Gino. Know below all that Pumpkin confronts and feels. Mama June. Pumpkin made Gino know that he and June hurt her a lot. Luring Pumpkin Efford sat down with Gino for the first time ever since his and Mama June's arrest. June Shannon and boyfriend, Gino, was arrested back in 2019 for possession of controlled substance and drugs. Pumpkin talked to Gino about how her and Alana's life has been when they were not there. The Sun reports Pumpkin claiming that June and Gino have hurt her a lot over the past years. She was loaded with responsibilities because of them. Pumpkin further confronts that she was not prepared to take care of Alana, but was left with no other option. At the same time, back then, she was becoming a mom herself. Pumpkin claims, "You weren't around. It was really a whole mess." Mama June. Gino feels sorry for not being there for Pumpkin and Alana. Gino did not counter back Pumpkin's claims. He had no excuse for Pumpkin and Alana's suffering. Gino accepted all the claims and stated, "At the time, drugs clouded out brains so much that you see what we did." Pumpkin further made him know that Alana was the one who had to go through a lot. Alana, aka Honey Boo Boo, was hurt by June and Gino's drug use. Pumpkin made Gino know that he always filled the gap of Alana's father. The 21-year-old confessed, "Gino started coming around. He went above and beyond for Alana and really showed Alana what a father was supposed to be." Pumpkin also mentions that 2 years later, he just went off with June, and together they gave No's #*. Mama June. Pumpkin appreciates June and Gino's effort. Pumpkin did not only show the bad side of June and Gino, but also talked about the good one. She said to Gino that he and her mother have made significant efforts to be there in her and Alana's life. Moreover, she appreciated that both have been sober for not just a few days, but more than a year. Pumpkin also confessed that she has now moved past all the hurt. She then went on to explain Alana's maturity. Alana seems not to be a normal teenager. She is way much mature than that of her age. Pumpkin thinks Gino and June to be more understanding than before. We hope Pumpkin and Honey Boo Boo's relation with June and Gino to grow more ahead. Last week, fans also saw June coming face to face with her daughters after so long. 3 of them sat down together and had a heart-to-heart talk. When June was asked about her hardest part of motherhood, she replied it was knowing that her daughters chose to walk away from her. June Shannon confronted that she was angry with her daughters at that time. It was hard for June to see Pumpkin and Honey Boo Boo turning their backs against her. The daughters also shared their past experiences. Thankfully, the reunion went well. Fans do hope June and her family come together as one family. Luring Pumpkin Efford had been through more than her fair share of struggles. As the eldest daughter of June Shannon, famously known as Mama June, she had spent most of her life under the scrutiny of reality TV cameras. The family show, Here Comes Honey Boo Boo, had brought them fame, but it had also brought a host of challenges and heartbreaks. Pumpkin had always been the responsible one, often stepping into the role of caregiver for her younger sisters, Alana, better known as Honey Boo Boo, Jessica, and Anna. But the past few years had been particularly tough. Mama June's relationship with Gino Doak had spiraled out of control, leading to drug addiction and legal troubles. June had abandoned her daughters when they needed her most, leaving Pumpkin to pick up the pieces. One evening, as Pumpkin sat in her small living room, she reflected on the tumultuous journey they had been on. The house was quiet, a stark contrast to the chaos that had defined their lives. Alana was upstairs, doing her homework, and Pumpkin's husband, Josh, was putting their baby to bed. Pumpkin knew it was time to confront the feelings she had been suppressing for so long. The breaking point came when June showed up unannounced at Pumpkin's door. It had been months since they had last seen each other, and June looked worn and frail. Her once vibrant eyes were now dull, and her appearance spoke volumes about the struggles she had been facing. "Pumpkin, I need to talk to you," June said, her voice trembling. Pumpkin's initial reaction was anger. She had so much to say, so many accusations and questions. But as she looked at her mother, she saw a broken woman in desperate need of help. "Come in," Pumpkin said curtly, stepping aside to let June enter. They sat down in the living room, an uncomfortable silence hanging between them. Pumpkin's heart was pounding, her mind racing with the things she wanted to say. "Why now, Mama? Why did you come back now?" Pumpkin finally asked, her voice tinged with bitterness. June took a deep breath, tears welling up in her eyes. "Pumpkin, I know I messed up. I know I hurt you and your sisters. I was in a dark place, and I didn't know how to get out. But I'm trying to change. I want to make things right." Pumpkin's eyes narrowed. "Do you even understand what you put us through? Do you know how many nights I stayed up, worried sick about Alana, about you? Do you know how many times I had to lie to people, saying you were fine when you weren't? You abandoned us for Gino and drugs. You chose them over us." June's tears fell freely now. "I'm so sorry, Pumpkin. I wish I could take it all back. I don't expect you to forgive me right away, but I'm here now, and I want to be a part of your lives again." The days following June's return were filled with tension and uncertainty. Alana, who had been deeply hurt by her mother's abandonment, was reluctant to trust June again. She had grown close to Pumpkin, who had become more of a mother to her than June ever was. One evening, Alana confronted Pumpkin about letting June back into their lives. "Pumpkin, why did you let her in? She's just going to hurt us again." Pumpkin sighed, understanding Alana's fears. "I know you're scared, Alana. I'm scared too. But she's still our mother. And if there's even a small chance that she can change, we have to give her that opportunity. We owe it to ourselves to try." Alana shook her head, tears streaming down her face. "She chose drugs over us, Pumpkin. How can we ever trust her again?" Pumpkin pulled Alana into a tight hug. "I don't know, Alana, but we have to take it one day at a time. We'll figure it out together." June knew that regaining her daughter's trust would be an uphill battle. She started attending therapy and joined a support group for recovering addicts. She was determined to prove to her family that she was serious about changing her ways. Pumpkin, skeptical but hopeful, decided to accompany June to one of her support group meetings. She wanted to see for herself if June was genuinely committed to her recovery. The meeting was an eye-opening experience for Pumpkin. She listened as June shared her story with the group, talking about her struggles with addiction and the pain of losing her family. Hearing her mother speak so candidly about her demons stirred a mix of emotions in Pumpkin. After the meeting, June turned to Pumpkin, her eyes filled with sincerity. "Pumpkin, I'm doing this for you, for Alana, for all of us. I know I have a long way to go, but I'm committed to making things right." Pumpkin nodded, her heart softening slightly. "I hope so, Mama. For all our sakes, I hope so." As the weeks passed, June made a genuine effort to rebuild her relationship with her daughters. She attended all her therapy sessions, stayed sober, and began spending more time with Alana and Pumpkin. It wasn't easy, and there were many moments of doubt and anger. But slowly, the walls began to come down. One afternoon, June and Alana went for a walk in the park. It was the first time they had spent time alone together since June's return. Alana was still wary, but she wanted to give her mother a chance. "Alana, I know I hurt you, and I can't change the past," June said, her voice filled with regret. "But I want to be here for you now. I want to be the mother you deserve." Alana looked at her mother, her heart aching. "I don't know if I can ever forget what you did, Mama, but I want to try. I want to try to forgive you." June reached out and took Alana's hand. "That's all I can ask for, sweetheart. We'll take it one day at a time together." Pumpkin watched as her mother and sister began to mend their relationship. It was a slow process, filled with ups and downs, but progress was being made. For the first time in a long while, there was a glimmer of hope in their lives. June continued to work on her recovery, focusing on rebuilding her life and repairing the damage she had caused. She found a part-time job and started volunteering at a local community center, helping others who were struggling with addiction. Pumpkin began to see changes in her mother. June was more present, more engaged, and more determined than ever to make amends. It wasn't a complete transformation, but it was a start. One evening, as they sat around the dinner table, Pumpkin looked at her family and felt a sense of peace. It wasn't perfect, and there was still a long way to go, but they were together.